Dark Satellite Media.
Yo, 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 yo.
What up?
Welcome to episode, I don't know, maybe this will be a number, or maybe we'll just do like a Judgment Night thing.
I have no idea what number it is. Again.
Where are you plugged into? Let's see. Talk?
Hello?
Okay, cool.
Start this?
No, not yet. We'll do the intro, yeah.
All right.
So today, Langan and I are going to talk about the Judgment Night soundtrack, which is a super iconic soundtrack that everyone remembers, and the whole idea to this was sometimes I think we remember shit like more fondly, you know, and then you like go back to it and you're like, so I wanted to like really like go through these songs and see if they held up. Because it's such a, like, you're playing with fire for people like us because we both love hip-hop and we both love rock.
Yeah.
But the combination...
It's most likely going to go bad.
It's going to go bad.
You got to defy the odds.
Yeah.
If it's going to be good.
Why do you... Okay, I have a
Something
theory.
about this, the sound of, like, the guitar and somebody really, like... I don't know, the guys that usually fuck with it, they're spitting like really basic rhymes and shit with it.
Yeah.
I don't hear like guys like, Inspector Deck at a Jizza with a metal guitar behind it. It just never...
It doesn't...
It can't jive for me. It doesn't make sense.
I think it's like the production. Like, unless you do something that's like the less notes you play on the guitar, the better it is.
You know what it is? It's like either one of the genres or both have to dumb themselves down to jive with the other one.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
So what's, how is that good?
Yeah, and like, if you're the singer that doesn't play guitar, what are you doing? Like, you're just hanging out. You like you do what Mike Patton did on
Bongos,
this.
man.
Yeah, totally.
Maraca.
But there's something about like riff. You can't like riff over certain things because it just doesn't sound well. And the production, because the production to the hip hop stuff, like the good stuff that we like, is just so bass heavy.
Yeah.
Like you hear like a Tribe Called Quest, like, Bugging Out come in. It just has this appeal to it where like when you hear the guitar, it's just like a different like mid range type thing, and it just never like
that's the instrument that ruins it.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
the instrument.
The bass, the drums,
for sure.
Keys, whatever. Yeah. It's that guitar. I don't know.
It just doesn't go with it.
No.
Like a guitar, like you just need that singing and yeah. So with the soundtrack, everyone remembers it because we were like kids. This was and so it came out 27 years ago, almost to the date.
September 14th, 93.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you remember when this dropped? Because I do.
Yeah, I was working at Record World, and they sent out a promo of it, so we had it early, and everybody that worked there loved it because I had a little something for everybody. We gassed up, played it constantly, And
most importantly, too, was for the promo stuff, you see the name of the bands. Because at first you see Judgment Night, and you're thinking like, okay, no idea what this movie is or what it's going to be. But you see all the bands that are connected together on the promo, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is like shit that we all love. And
together.
Yeah.
And we were so gassed up, and then when the movie came out a month later, it was like, oh, God. This is awful.
Yeah.
They got us, They got us with the killer soundtrack.
So the guy who directed the movie, what did he do? He did something else, too. He did A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5.
Did he?
Yes. And then he did something else that was...
Jamie. I'll play Jamie today.
Okay. Young Jamie, pull this up for us. It was something in 1990, I believe, right before...
Street 5.
Okay.
Predator 2.
Predator 2. That's what it was. Predator 2 is so good.
Sure. Yeah.
He
did a couple of films. Yeah. He went down fast after that.
Yeah.
not much on the resume.
But yeah, supposedly he had no real faith in the soundtrack. He wasn't even going to add it in the movie.
They had to fight to get him to use it. I
Yeah.
heard, you know, the Happy
Walters.
did not want to use it.
And
And the film is god awful, atrocious.
I like the premise. The premise is cool. Like I don't want to say if it was more realistic because a movie is a movie, but it's just like I don't know. Maybe like Dennis Leary was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Because he was so entrenched in MTV culture, so you knew him. So he was a familiar face in that way.
Right.
But like I wasn't thinking like, okay, here's Dennis Leary walking around Cabrini Green, knocking on doors and like being like a bad guy, and I'm just like, I don't like he would that would not go over well. Maybe the casting, a lot of the turns that the plot took. I feel like there could have been a cool movie there.
Yeah, it just fell flat.
Yeah.
There's a quote talking about Cabrini Green. Everlast was in the film. He had a little bit role, I believe.
Yeah, he was like one of the henchmen.
And he said, the director hated me because I would constantly say shit like, four guys are walking around Cabrini Green, Chicago, acting like they run shit. This is realistic. And he said, the movie's a piece of shit. Soundtrack's the only good thing about it.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And they actually asked Muggs to have a bit role on it, too.
Yeah.
But he said they offered him like, what was the amount?
$25K.
50,000.
Oh, 50, yeah.
But he was getting $25K a remix at that point and doing a couple a week.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't want to sit around and wait.
Yeah, because he said like they were in Meteor Man with Townsend. What Townsend? Robert Townsend. And he said that I guess like the movie process is different. You just kind of like wait for your scene, and the whole time
and wait. Yeah.
You sit around. So if you're like a musician or like a creative type like Muggs, you're thinking like, I'd rather just do 2 remixes and have the same payday.
Exactly.
But yeah, so and supposedly I guess the idea to the soundtrack was put forward by Happy Walters, but supposedly it was like more of a conversation between Everlast and DJ Muggs, because I think they were coming off of the Shamrocks and Shenanigans remix.
The Butch Vig.
Yeah. So I think they were just like kind of like I think they were like vibing on that. So they were really into that remix. And then I think Everlast said that he might have seen Rage Against the Machine open up for Body Count, and it kind of blew his mind. So a lot of these conversations were happening. But Happy Walters was like a music guy. He had Immortal Records, and I'm trying to remember like the 3 standouts. So he had Korn on the label. Right. The band Far, which no one really knows or remember them. Yeah. They have a record called Water and Solutions. And there was someone else, but I forget. But he seemed to be like the man, so I think he took their idea and put it into fruition. He was like a big music fan, big fan of the Smiths and REM.
The time was ripe for this too, because they were on the time period. There'd been 3 Lollapaloozas at that point. The alternate, like different genres,
it was
kind
poppin'.
of playing together. This and that. It was just. That was the zeitgeist right then,
and there were no real like sore thumbs as far as like the artists that they picked for this. Yeah. So let's go with the first song. So the first song on the track list is, I had a different track list, to be honest with you.
Did you?
When I had the CD. But so we'll go with the list that's up online, which is Helmet and House of Pain.
What, do you have a different song like leading it off?
I feel like I had Sonic Youth, because
really? Sonic
Youth and Cypress Hill were the first, and then the last, because I think they spread them out. I could be completely wrong. I was on drugs. Yeah,
because I remember that. I had it at this was the first track, but I was gassed up for this track back in the day because I loved House of Pain. Yeah, it was a hot time for all the Soul Assassin shit. Everlast spits his usual simplistic
still does
verses on here. I love him, but still, when he's like reading the Taxi Driver IMDb page, basically,
like Jodie Foster and Harvey Keitel,
De Niro. But it works, They work together.
He had great delivery and he had a great voice.
Yeah.
But like what I love, so whenever
And Helmet's got groove.
well, that's what it was. So like, when they were putting the song together, I believe Everlast said that, like instead of collaborating on something, he was like, "Yo, let us just fuck up a Helmet song."
Yeah.
So I guess Helmet had a song or maybe an idea, and then that's why it's basically like two songs in one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it
They
comes.
slow it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it slowed it down, and then from there, it what we were talking about before, as far as the guitar, it made the guitar like it dumbed it down a little bit more, like as far as production, and slowed it down, and then it added that fucking heavy bass drum.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fucking great. I love the hits on the cymbal. It doesn't seem like forced on this record at all, you know?
No, and Everlast voice really sinks in with their tone. I don't know, you know, it's not a complex piece by any means and stuff, but it works, you know.
Yeah, and I think the production, like some of the songs on the record, I'll talk about later on. I feel like they were mixed terribly.
Yeah,
this one was mixed very well.
Definitely.
Maybe Muggs had his fingers in there. I don't really know exactly who mixed it. But yeah, man, this to this day, it's so okay. Going back, I thought I was gonna go back and listen to the soundtrack and be like, I just felt like maybe it just wouldn't age well. You know, you put something on and you're like, oh man, this shit was cool for its time, but it's pretty corny. And then, you know, I put this on, I'm like, oh, it's still cool. Like, I really like this.
I can't see myself, like, after we're done with the show, like, I'm probably good on revisiting it for a while and stuff, but some songs age better than others on there. Yeah. You know? But this still pops. This track's good.
It was enjoyable. Yeah. And you figure, like, what, so, where were they in their career? I feel like they were both kind of on their way down. Because what did Helmet do after 93? Oh, no, they released Betty, but Betty wasn't really that well received.
That was not well received at all.
Because it was a little out there.
It's a good record.
It's a great record.
But it did not do as well as Meantime commercially by any means.
Which, I mean, I think it still went gold.
And obviously House of Pain's second record, and I like that record too.
But when did that come out? I feel like maybe around the same time.
As Betty?
Yeah, or maybe same as it ever was. Young Jamie, look that up.
Yeah, both would be viewed as having a sophomore slump kind of thing. Let's see.
I don't think so much. No, because so Helmet had Strap It On, and then they did Meantime.
Same as it ever was 94.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah. So they both released records, and I feel like some people think Betty, like, you know, I'm sure Dan Turr thinks Betty is the best of the Helmet records, because it's a little bit more out there. But Same as It Ever Was, I think, is the best House of Pain record.
It's got great beats on it.
Great beats,
savage beats.
Yeah,
Everlast is what he is.
Yeah,
you know, he's not gonna blow your mind. Like, oh, rewind that. Like, what did this guy just say? Holy shit!
Did he just say you make me sick like Strawberry Quick?
Exactly. That's on that record.
Yo,
right?
rewind that.
Yo, did he just say that? But Muggs' beats and the production is ridiculous. I would kill to have heard like a better MC on those beats.
Yeah.
You know? Or anything, but I like that record.
That record's great.
Yeah.
It just didn't have Jump Around. Jump Around was a monster.
Definitely didn't have it.
So yeah, both.
There was no hit.
No.
No.
And they were so they were both kind of like riding the same size of popularity at this time in their world.
Sure.
So, and then from there, you know, I guess they like Helmet continued to make records. I just don't think you know, some people go in and out and they check out, and at this point it's just Page.
Yeah.
And my buddy Dave Case, shout out to him.
He still plays this song live, I heard.
Oh, really?
Live shows.
Just Another Victim?
Yeah.
I guess they just do the half of them.
Yeah, I don't think they go through the whole thing, but maybe it's just a fun little one-off.
The drummer doesn't do the Everlast parts?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So can we say this song aged well?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like the test is, if you're at a red light and it's summer, do you crank it if someone's next to you, or do you embarrassingly roll it down?
That's tough because, you know what?
It's 3 choices. Do you roll it down? Do you keep it at the volume, or do you pump it up?
I'm gonna keep it at the volume.
Me too.
I'm gonna keep it at the volume.
Yeah.
But like this whole thing, like also, you think about what happened after, this was like a new thing, kind of. Besides Run DMC and Aerosmith, besides Anthrax and Public Enemy, having a full album of all these kind of collaborations was a new thing, and we know what happened in the post-Cobain music world and the rise of new metal and what that brought on, and there's such a stigma associated with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is a different era.
Yeah.
I think it was
This was the precursor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
This probably launched some of those bands.
It did. It probably did, right? Like Alice in Chains birthed the worst bands ever.
Sure. It
Like-
happens. All the Jarl bands.
Yeah.
The candle boxes. The
Candlebox I could
Creeds,
fuck with, though, a little bit.
really?
Yeah.
Collective Souls. All those
Yeah.
kind of bands. Godsmack.
Well,
It's the
Godsmack
worst
for
one.
sure, because they're named after an Alice in Chains songs. But yeah,
I mean, you can go back through a million things in music and
Yeah.
see those kind of.
I picture I picture young MC Freddie D listening to Judgment Night soundtrack, being like, "Yo, son, you know what we're gonna do?
Question. No question.
We're gonna take fucking DJ Lethal and we're gonna fucking throw him in there."
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But
So
anyway.
we're both gonna keep it at the same volume.
Yes.
Brings us to the second song, which I think at the end maybe we'll give our 5 favorite songs
Okay.
from the record. So I'm not going to say much more on that. But this next song is Teenage Fan Club and De La Soul, Fallen.
Yeah, I don't really like this one too much.
Really?
Never did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just looking at your face because I thought you were joking.
Nah.
What is it about that you...
I don't know what it is. I love De La Soul.
Yeah.
I love Teenage Fan Club. Just doesn't.
Oh, that's crazy.
It never worked for me. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just never grabbed me and stuff. And I know a lot of people like this track.
Yeah, when this shit pops on and like just that opening track and like, singers like traveling, like there's something about it that just feels so happy.
Mhm.
Speaking of happy Walters he's like, oh, I was a big Teenage Fan Club fan and I wanted them on. And, they were just like, holy shit, we get to work with fucking De La Soul. Because I think originally they were going to
PM
work
Dawn.
with PM Dawn,
Yeah.
which would have made sense.
Totally. 100%. But they were way more excited to work with De La.
Yeah, yeah.
honestly. And I was wondering how they got that with the sample, with the Petty sample.
Tom
and
Petty,
stuff.
yeah.
But apparently Petty loved it.
Petty loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe Petty was neighbors with some dude from Incubus
Yeah.
or some shit or whatever, but they got it cleared.
How does that go? Like, just the guy from Incubus is like, yeah, one day I was taking out the garbage and, I heard Tom Petty like playing that Teenage Fan Club, De La Soul song, and I was like, hey man, do you love that? He's like, love it, man. Going back home later. Like, how did that like maybe they were just having a conversation?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's cool with Petty,
Yeah. And at the end, I don't know if you realize or remember, but they kind of like do like a vocal sample, or they kind of like do the Daisy Duke thing at the end.
Yes.
Weird.
Come on, baby.
Come on. Yeah.
It was very odd.
It had to be like,
A goof, you know?
yeah, like a goof, like at the end, like your let me shut this thing off. God damn it.
Blowing up.
Sometimes you're just at the end, and I guess Daisy Duke, that song came out a year before,
Mm-hmm.
and
It
it was
huge.
Yeah, it was everywhere. So you just kind of like put that on, But okay, I mean, listen. So where were these guys at their career? I feel like they were both kind of. De La Soul had just made Balloon Mind State, I believe,
Love that album.
but you know that they don't like it.
I've read that, but I love it. One of my favorites.
So did you get a chance to listen to that Prince Paul podcast
No, not yet.
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
So there's a whole episode on Balloon Mind State.
Yeah.
And he said it's the last record that he worked on with them because they just didn't like it. And it wasn't received well, but he said later on, like a lot of people were like, oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And he was like, why didn't anyone say something back then? It just seemed like everyone hated it because then they put out Stakes is High, which was a completely different thing. So he was just like, man, he's like, maybe they just weren't into like my style anymore. But there's something about Balloon Mind State. Like, I just always thought it was the best.
I love that record. It's got a couple of my favorite De La songs.
Yeah.
Break of Dawn is
Yeah.
so fucking smooth.
Yeah.
What's the other one that they made the first single off it?
Ego Trip?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that record. You know?
It's just the memories attached to it, you know, like I
Big
was
time.
15, I was just like, we had the cassette and we would listen to it. And Teenage Fan Club, I believe, just put out Bandwagon-esque.
13, I think. Or they were working on 13?
Okay, they were working on
Something like that,
13
yeah.
because I feel like Bandwagon-esque might have been 92.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, they were like
Yeah.
popping and doing their thing. So they were kind of like on an upswing, you know, because usually you can get like people like this on the way down.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
The gig's a gig.
yeah, gig's a gig.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone was kind of like on even plane here.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
There was a couple of people that I guess they offered it to that
yeah,
weren't feeling it and stuff. We can get into that as it goes. But a couple I was surprised that I never heard before. I heard something was offered to Biggie,
yeah,
Perry Farrell, which I totally could have saw.
yeah.
And then even Metallica.
That's
who,
weird.
Who were the shit at that time, you know, as far as financially. You know, they were
Yeah.
off the black shit, black
That
album.
might have been like the peak of their
I think
popularity.
they told Happy, like, yeah, okay, $3 million or something.
Yeah,
And it was like their way of saying, you know, fuck you, kid.
Yeah. yeah, man. Give him a number that even if he says yes to, we'll be like, okay, well, fine.
They would do it now.
Yeah, they would do
But
it.
but back then, that era Metallica, you
Yeah.
know, ego.
No, we're not gonna fucking do it. It's gonna be $3 million.
Yeah. But
God.
then, you know, even though Lars is a trendy dude, like we saw in
Yes.
Saint Anger when he made Kurt not play guitar solos anymore because no one was doing guitar solos.
Oh my god, so embarrassing.
You ever heard
know-
System of a Down? They don't
Yeah.
play guitar solos, man.
Yo, you know, I was trying to find because I think it was enough time had passed for me to watch it, but that Some Kind of Monster.
Yeah.
You can't find it anywhere.
Really?
It's like Scrubs from like the world. Like you can't get it anywhere.
No.
I can't even rent it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe they realized, like, man,
They're like, this makes us
we
look
look like
real bad.
such pussies.
Yeah.
Because that was the verdict. I mean, I remember Eddie Van Halen saying, like, what a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like someone in your band, you just throw them out. Like,
So
which is what he
embarrassing.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
but, yeah, this clip's on YouTube still. You can still see Mustaine cry if you're interested.
I'm always interested in that.
But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But-
So if we're at the red light and Christy Brinkley is in the car next to us, do we lower the volume on this song? Do we keep it at the volume that it's at, or do we crank it up to 10?
I'm going to keep it at the volume it's at because I never liked this song. I didn't like this song when I first had the album. I shouldn't say I didn't like it. It just wasn't one of my favorites
Mhm.
for what I was listening to then. So it's better than I remembered it, but I'll just keep it at the same volume.
Okay.
It's not one of my standout tracks.
Yeah. All
What
right.
about you?
Oh, I crank it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up, Christy Brinkley? And I'm like, yo, check this out. Yeah, you fuck with Teenage Fan Club? Green light. Cool. So that brings us to the third song, which is
Living Color and Run DMC.
okay. Me, myself, and my
Right.
microphone. Yeah.
Right.
What do you think of this?
This was better than I remembered it. I didn't like this. Oh, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought Vernon Reed's riff on it is good, actually, for all the troubles that guitar has mixing with hip hop and
Okay.
stuff. No, but Run DMC, obviously important, great band, stuff like that, but not setting the world afire. Well, was this when Down with the King came out after or before?
It had to be around the same time.
Okay, because that gave them a little
Yeah.
fresh, because they were dead in the water.
Dead in the
kinda.
water.
And, you know,
Shout out to Pete Rock.
that whole, the ha style had been,
Yeah.
you know, it was old school.
36
Unless you were the Beastie
36
Boys.
Chambers already came in, and
Exactly.
people were like, oh.
Unless you were the Beastie Boys,
Yeah.
who it's like, okay, we've accepted this
Yeah.
is what you guys are going to be,
I know.
and we love it.
Yes.
But Run DMC, no.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Down with the King came out, and I remember everybody coming in buying a cassette single. All of a sudden, there was a clamor for them again.
Yeah.
But I think this collaboration works, though. It doesn't light the world on fire,
No.
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. So this is one of those songs that I think suffers for me for as far as production.
Yeah.
Because it sounds.
I agree with you there.
It sounds like it was mixed very poorly, and it sounds like a living color rehearsal next door to Run DMC, like rapping.
Okay.
Like it just sounds like they're completely
Like the Aerosmith
on
video.
like on a different planet.
But nobody punched their mic
Yeah.
stand through the wall.
Yeah,
they
there
just
was-
recorded through it.
There was no scarf hanging from the mic.
No.
But the actual song, the riff is cool, but that suffers somewhat to me because it's just so busy.
Yeah, that's Vernon Reid for you.
It's busy, but then when the chorus kicks in, like those light, like that, it's such a bright notes that he's playing.
Yeah.
I ended up liking the song a lot better this time than I did
Definitely.
the last time I heard it.
Agreed.
I thought it's a lot of fun, and Run DMC is like no stranger to rapping over these
No.
guitars.
Rock,
Yeah,
Rock Box.
yeah.
There was a ton.
And they were both, same thing. So you figure, geez, maybe Stain had come out for a Living Color. Young Jamie, pull that shit up. Auslander was on Stain. There was a few bangers on that one.
Stain, March 2nd, 93. So.
Okay. Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, for sure.
That year.
And, they were both.
And then they didn't make another record till 2003.
Yeah. Because I remember Stain had some really good stuff on there, but they're one of those bands that just kind of like went away. And like we said, Run DMC, man, you know, they popped back up for like a year.
Yeah.
And did their thing. But me, myself, my microphone, we're at the red light. You know, let's say Linda Evangelista is in let's say she's humping a car next to us. Do we lower the volume on this terrible mix?
I'm gonna lower it.
You're gonna lower?
Yeah. You?
Okay. I'm gonna keep it the same.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it the same because it's not something you could blast because it's like the mix sounds cluttered basically.
That's the perfect way to put it.
You know,
Yeah.
so but it's still fun. Like whenever I'm trying to like punch a hole through it while I was listening to it, I'm like, it's still fun. It's like me and myself and my microphone, and so very cool. Track number 4,
Biohazard and Onyx. Is that what you got there?
God damn.
Judgment Night.
Yeah, wow.
They were no strangers to collaborating.
Yeah,
The Slam. Then they did the. What year did that come out?
Slam.
The metal. Then was it the metal remix they did for that one?
Maybe it was like 92.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they
So
had
they
just done. Yeah, they had just done it.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember they did the remix and like, holy shit, this is actually pretty cool because
Every hardcore kid was fucking with Onyx.
Yeah.
Hard because of that.
And they play, like, if you listen to this song, great production.
Yep.
And Biohazard plays those ominous chords that work with the hip hop. It's like dun dun dun.
Sure.
That's it. Because then from there, the MC just has this room to kind of like vibe over it.
They're a good band to collaborate with hip hop because their stuff isn't overly complex in the least. It's very Neanderthal and basic. With all due respect.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah.
But it's not, there's no Yngwie Malmsteen licks.
No.
Intricately.
Like,
that's gonna be dissonant with a hip hop vocal. It's a perfect groove.
It's a perfect groove, and they get it, and they could play it. And I gotta say, Sticky Fingers, his verse, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
This is probably his best verse that I've ever heard him do.
Yeah.
It's just so memorable. Like when we listen to it again, I'm just like, he was gonna make the white man call him master.
Yeah.
I'm 666.
Yep.
Pass that shit, you fucking bald headed bastard. Like
he killed it.
Yeah, man, you hear that shit, and I'm just like if we were riding in the car with that cereal kid, like the dad smacking the cereal out, like, he could do it with Judgment Night.
Getting you amped, yeah.
Yeah, man, this song really, man, and this is the height of Biohazard, I believe. Not
Urban Discipline was 94.
Yeah. No.
Or
It must have been like 92. Because State of the Union.
Oh yeah,
State of the Union was like 94. So they were riding high. Back the Fuck Up must have been like 92.
Yeah, Urban Discipline was 92. Yep.
92.
State of the World Address 94. So it was right in between.
So right in the middle. Yeah.
They were doing all right.
Yeah. But once again, these two, like after like 94, I feel like their trajectory just kind of like dipped down.
Oh yeah. Back the Fuck Up was 93.
93.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And so aggressive. Like if any hip hop group could project and kind of feel like they belong on a track like this, it's them. It's just they're like, I can't imagine. You know how much spit must be on that mic when they're done rapping? Like just.
Yeah, they're of that style. Like an MOP too. Like it just on an extra they turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like they fought everyone in that recording studio, not because they were mad.
Yeah.
But it's just what
They had to.
They had to.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. This is
They like
what I
wrote like
do.
an IOU and sent them like Venmo.
Yeah. You can't help
in
yourself.
'93.
It's way amped,
Yeah.
testosterone
Yeah.
filled.
Yeah.
You know,
Just like smash shit.
like kind of posse cut and you know, with the gang vocals in it and
Yeah.
stuff. It was, you know.
And of course, like, you know, one of them, the Biohazard guys, they're like, you know, it's always funny where like the singer of the band is like, what am I going to do? It's like, just yell Judgment Night.
Yeah.
Judgment Night. That's it. It's like, all right, cool.
We're good. We gotta
Perfect.
get you on this cut.
Okay, so we're at a red light, and you know, we look over, and who is that but Lake Bell?
Mm.
You know, do we dip the volume on this aggressive track to not scare her away? Do we keep it? Do we keep it in the middle?
I'm turning this down because I'm 47 years old. I can't listen to this shit like this anymore. It's like I say about hardcore. It's like it's a young man's game. I can't be driving around like you know, screaming this shit out. But maybe in private.
Yeah.
I'm turning it down at the light.
Yeah.
But when they leave, I'm gonna turn it back up. Does that make sense?
Are you being nice then?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
exactly.
being thoughtful.
I'm being a 47-year-old man.
Yeah, to me, no, I'm cranking that. Okay, cool. So what do we have? The number 5?
Number 5, yeah, the Slayer and Ice-T.
I feel like this is such a
Disorder.
cop-out.
I like this one. But I like the Exploited.
It's a song. Yeah.
It's a 3 Exploited songs kind of mashed together.
Yeah.
War, UK, 82, and Disorder. And I was a big, politics aside.
Yeah.
Because I know Waddy's a meathead.
Yeah.
But I loved Exploited in high school. Death Before Dishonor, one of my favorite albums. They were just such a good they were crossover metal and punk to me. They weren't, you know, they had the punk thing going obviously, but a lot of riffage and stuff like that. I love Slayer. Ice-T sounds great with Slayer's tone.
Yep.
He's built to do this more than anybody on this soundtrack, maybe even Onyx. Ice-T's got the cred, you know? So I know what you're saying about a cop-out or whatnot, but I don't know. I love hearing Ice-T over Slayer. I love hearing Ice-T with Araya because they've collaborated on, I think, again, I believe they've done something else together, but I'm not for sure. But,
I don't remember,
Yeah. Well, I know Ice-T covered Rain and Blood. Maybe that's
what it
I'm
was.
thinking of,
Yeah. And then Institutional.
But anyway, I get the cop-out part. It's not an original tune.
I just picture like them being like going to like Kerry King being like, okay, we're going to get you and we're going to throw a rapper in there and you guys are going to collaborate on a song. And he's probably like, nah, not going to do that. And then, you know, it was like the only way that like, they're like, okay, how about we get a rapper, but he's not going to rap.
Right.
And then you guys are going to do a cover, you know, like I just can't imagine like that going over well. Which is why I mean, it's a cool song. It just feels like out of place in the collaborations. But lyrically, if you listen to the lyrics now, they're so relevant, like still.
100.
Right?
That thought crossed my mind first. It's like it sounds like it.
Yeah,
you know, should be now.
That was eerie. Like I was listening to it, going like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "This is like now."
Yeah,
yeah.
Could be released again.
Yeah.
More things change, the more they stay the same, I guess. But
always. Yeah,
it just sounds good to me. But I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
maybe there's a little mailing it in.
They were like, whatever. But in 1993, I believe Ice-T had Home Invasion out.
Yep.
And Slayer probably did Decade of Aggression.
Yeah, Diabolus and Music. It came out
in
that was 94.
Yeah.
I feel like they released something in 94.
Diabolus and Musica is
I'm sorry.
98.
Yeah, no.
Undisputed Hate? No, Undisputed Attitude.
I know there was
they had the cover album, but I think it was
about to enter a confusing period for Slayer, though.
No, but I think Decade of Aggression was what they released, a double live
album. Yeah. 94 was Divine Intervention.
Okay, that makes sense.
And, yeah, exactly. But,
which they still had their thing, but they were both at the top, you know, like Home Invasion was a huge Ice-T record. I think The Power was on there, which had the Carpenter Halloween sample on it.
No, that's a good record.
And he's super jacked in the picture. A lot of people forget like how jacked Ice-T really still is.
Yeah.
And then you see him at like 60 and he's like built like a fucking like brick wall. He's just like, how the fuck does this guy still do it?
He's got it, man. But
somebody's got to bang Coco. But okay, so we're sitting at the light and you know,
I'm turning it up.
We're turning it up.
I'm turning it up.
Is that Freedom Rock?
I'm definitely turning up.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, especially if you know, I'm next to someone who might have certain stickers. I'm like, yeah. What's the next song?
Faith No More and Booyah Tribe.
Okay.
Another Body Murdered.
Another Body Murdered.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I wasn't never into this song.
They're listening. I don't want the Booyah Tribe coming for me because they're big boys.
Big boys.
Huge, right?
Wild Samoans. But revisiting this, I love this.
Me too, right?
I thought this was great.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate it back then, but it really works. Faith No More does a good stripped down track for them. Perfect.
And you heard the idea that they wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Like this, it was like a Samoan like national anthem or something.
The Samoan national anthem, Mike Patton, and they were
only he would come up with something like that, right?
Yeah.
And like they were like, yeah, they laughed at him. They're like, they're like, how about we just jam on a track?
Yeah, because they could play. I guess, apparently too.
Yeah, and they were saying that they went to the studio and they were like jamming and they brought their guns and they left them like on the console, and stuff. And Jim Martin didn't come. He was like, I don't want to do it.
Growing pumpkins.
Yes, because I guess he was probably planning to leave because he left after Angel Dust.
Correct.
And this was like the year of Angel Dust, or maybe that was 92.
Angel Dust was 92.
But this was like height. This was like maximum height. Faith No More, like they were like darlings. But going back, like I've never heard another Booyah Tribe track ever.
Never.
But listening to this, it just they're great. Like I told you before, it reminded me of like Chuck D. It had that delivery, and then Mike Patton was like, "I'm the singer. What am I gonna do?" And they're like, "Just do the aww,"
which works perfect.
Yeah, it works great if he could do it, and he was doing the screaming too.
Yeah, 92 is
Angel Dust.
Yep. But the Booyah Tribe the voice works well with this. But again, I don't know nothing about those guys. Except they're from Los Angeles. They're Samoans. I couldn't tell you one other song.
Yeah.
I mean, they were around, I guess. I heard the name a few times.
Shout out to Tony Rocky Horror.
I love this, actually.
Yeah, it aged well. This is one of those songs that that I listened back to.
It might have aged the best.
Right?
I think.
It just sounded powerful. You know, they were playing like the right riffs. Yeah, so far out of the ones that we've talked about, it might have been the one that I skipped a lot. But when I went back to it, I'm like, oh, this has balls. Like it. Yeah. And they released a video for it too. A song like this pops up, and we just never had any interest in listening to the Booyah Tribe. That we never
still don't.
Yeah,
but I appreciate this song more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Like if I listened to another one, that would take away the time that I could listen to this one. I need to spread my time. So yeah, we're at the red light. Do we lower this fucking thing? Do we keep it volume or do we crank it
up?
The production on this is great.
Yeah.
I can't say that I would turn it up. I would keep it as is because I feel like it's full enough.
Okay.
But like this is one of those songs where you hear and you're like everything pops nicely compared to like that fucking Living Color Run DMC thing. I'm like, who mixed this one?
It's the opposite.
Who recorded it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we up to?
Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill.
Is that number 7?
I Love You, Mary Jane.
Is that 6 or 7?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is it?
Yeah.
God damn. All right, maybe I'm forgetting how to count. Okay,
yep.
This was like iconic.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, this is like when this came out, we were definitely about that life for sure too. You
and everyone else.
Yeah,
man. It was. This was the joint, man. And supposedly everybody wanted to work with Cypress Hill. From what I'm reading,
yeah,
they were the hot shit.
And Happy Walters managed like fucking Cypress Hill, Wu-Tang.
Yep.
House of Pain, and Funk Dubious.
Funk Dubious, yeah.
Like, how fucking crazy is that?
They were asked to be on this, but said no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was too busy making porn.
Yeah, I love Funk Dubious. They would have been great on this. But anyway, yeah, these guys, I mean, it's essentially like a lick from Thurston Moore looped.
Yep. And
just Kim Gordon comes in with that sultry, sexy.
That's all she needed.
Hook.
Yeah.
And it's smooth as hell.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It was a perfect collaboration in my book.
It just made sense.
And it's still perfect to me.
It's
still great. I would play this again.
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I guess I'll get to my thoughts at the end of this recollection, but and this was like the height, man. This was like Lollapalooza because they were always on the same festival, always. Yeah. So it was like Cypress Hill and fucking Sonic Youth, and everyone back then. Certain groups played those festivals, and Cypress Hill was one of them. Wu-Tang was another. There's a few other ones, but those were the two. Beasties too.
Yeah.
But like the appeal really, like with skate culture, really embraced Wu-Tang and Cypress Hill, and they just like blew them out of the fucking water.
Yes.
Like they took them from like the first album where people were like, okay, we love this hip hop, and then from there, like by '93, I guess '93 was probably Temple of Boom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, this record's great. If I'm sitting at the red light, this shit's going up.
100%.
All the way up.
Always up.
Yeah. I'm going up to 11. And Sonic Youth. I'm trying to think of what record this
they
was.
had just done Goo, right?
No. So they had just done Dirty, which is my favorite. And they were on their way. So they were making Jet Set.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because that was 94 that 94, came out.
Yep, they were about to drop Bull and Heather with Our Girl.
Yeah, Sonic was hot shit at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. What's next?
Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay.
Freak Mama.
So you know the Mudhoney story, like, right, I guess, who were they trying to match them? Oh, they wanted to work with Cypress Hill.
Yes.
That's what they wanted.
Correct.
They were like, holy shit, we fucking love Cypress Hill. We want to work with them. And they're like, yo, there's already 2 bands working with them.
Yeah.
And then they suggested Funk Dubious to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Funk Dubious was like, nah, we're good.
We'll pass.
Yeah, but like what Happy said in one of the interviews is he's like, I didn't want to push anyone.
Right.
And that's the way to do it. Like if you're their manager, that's fine. But it's like, oh, you have to go into this space. And
the track's going to come out like shit.
Like shit.
You're not into it.
Yeah. And then I think they went to Seattle. They're just thinking like, wow, we're from Seattle.
Let's get the rapper from Seattle.
Yeah, for sure.
The rapper.
And by this, I guess Baby Got Back
had hit already.
Okay.
Right?
That was probably like 92.
Yeah. That was a massive fucking hit.
Huge. Like huge.
Yeah, playing it when you're playing at like sporting events.
Yeah.
Like that kind of level. Those kind of residuals.
Like House of Pain, jump around, like
every bachelorette party.
Yeah,
you've ever been. It's one of those songs in the fabric.
Yo, you fucking throw it in the goddamn Matrix. Like that's what it is. It's just it's everywhere.
Yeah,
like you can hear
it's a pop culture moment.
You could hear it at a wedding, and like your 90-year-old grandmother's gonna be like, yeah, she's gonna be like dancing to it.
You might hear it in the supermarket, in the elevator. It's there.
You could hear the Muzak version at the dentist.
Yeah,
But when you really you hear a song like this and we took it for granted, like most hits that we got played to death. But when you go back and listen to Baby Got Back, like it's really well written.
It's definitely well written. It's got killer scratches on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't say. I've heard a lot about Sir Mix-a-Lot too. I never knew any of his early shit, but with a Posse on Broadway.
Yeah. That one I do. Yeah.
Cuts, that he had a career before.
Yeah.
He didn't just flash, it was a flash in the pan as there, came up, had a couple of underground hip hop records that were respected.
Yep.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
But
might have been a regional thing. Maybe it just didn't really crack too hard over here.
What do you think of this song though?
Okay, so what do I think of this song? So I was listening to it, and this is one of those songs that I would always skip.
Definitely.
I would always skip, and then when I listen to it now, I enjoyed it way more than I did back then. I don't know why it worked. I don't know why the chorus worked, but it's fun. Like, you could definitely play this in the background. Oh, shit, we forgot to play the album in the background. Hit play on that motherfucker, then. We totally forgot to play the soundtrack in the back.
I think my speaker shut off. It was so long.
All right, there you go. A little ambiance in the back.
There we go.
All right, so maybe the
That's all
soundtrack
right.
will catch up.
That's all right.
But yeah, man, it just
I like this way more than I used to, too. I didn't like this at all back in the day, but
Yeah.
I feel the same way as you.
Okay.
Definitely a lot more fun than I remember it. And I'm not a big Mudhoney fan either.
Yeah, me neither. And
Yeah.
it's just not. It's not because I've heard a ton. It's just a band that I didn't really dive into. So like I know like the exterior tracks.
Mhm.
And you know what I watched the other day, which is really fun to kind of revisit, the documentary Hype.
Yeah,
That was fun.
very good.
Just like the whole Seattle sound, and you see like all these bands, like as like kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you see they're like so young. Like the Super Suckers don't even look like the Super Suckers. Like old, like Chris Cornell before fucking obviously killed himself. Man, Kurt Cobain too. Like
Yeah,
I guess it
sure.
was like a lot of death over there.
Sure.
But that was a really fun documentary, and Mudhoney were like a really big part of that scene.
Oh, yeah. There's actually a full documentary on Mudhoney, too, that's pretty good.
Amazon.
That taught me a little bit. You know, I didn't know much. I knew they were a pioneer in the
Yeah.
Seattle scene, kind of like, some of those bands that broke always cited Mudhoney or the Melvins, the
Yeah.
bands that didn't get quite as big.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, but they just
Like
never
Green
did it for me.
River, like bands like that. They were like the OGs of that scene.
Sure.
And it's funny, like sometimes.
Queensryche,
Yeah. Yeah, Queensryche for sure.
Metal Church.
Metal. Were they from
Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah.
I was listening to like the first like Queensryche album a couple of months ago, so I never listened to it. It's fucking
Good.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Their early stuff's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
They weren't on this.
Yeah, they weren't on this.
They weren't on this.
So, Freak Mama. Okay, we're at the red light. Do we bless the car next to us, or do we?
I'm going to keep it the same.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not that comfortable
Yeah.
about it that I'm going to turn it up.
Yeah. I don't need to be somebody's YouTube clip.
No.
You know,
Look at this dad.
yeah, old
Long
guy.
Island dad plays Herb shit.
Yeah, old guy rocking out to garbage.
Excuse
Okay, so what are we up to?
Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Yep, I got
Missing
thoughts.
Apparently, they tried to get Ice Cube for this and got Del, his cousin.
His cousin, yeah.
I'm not in love with this song, to be honest with you. Jay Mascis is too good, too intricate to work with a hip hop verse in light of our earlier conversation.
You know he recorded the whole thing?
Huh?
You know he recorded the whole thing?
Did he?
Yeah, he played drums, bass, and all that other stuff.
I did not know that.
Yeah. The way Del
I
describes
saw an
it.
Arsenio Hall clip of Mike D playing drums. They played it live on Arsenio.
Oh.
That's on YouTube, actually.
Oh, Mike D played drums?
Mike D played drums.
That's so
Jay's
cool.
out there, and Del. And
Okay.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I love the fact that these two got together. I feel like maybe Jay got a little too busy with the riff,
Yeah.
but it's still memorable. Like when I listen to it, and that's the truth, the motherfucking truth. Like it was still memorable, but it's so.
Jay can't dumb his shit down for anybody.
But it's a no. Yeah, you're right. It's
He's
like
too good. Man.
yeah. He's like, oh, you rapping? Yeah, I'm just gonna solo over this whole
And
thing.
to him though, he's like, I'm gonna be reserved on this. That was reserved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no feedback or any kind of shit. So
But it man, and it's so cool. This is one of those times where I look and I'm thinking like fucking Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien on a fucking track together.
Yeah.
Regardless of the outcome, it's still cool that it happened. You know, like you see that and I'm just like, man, what a time capsule this was
sure.
to capture. And it's a mood piece, I think. Like you throw it on in the back, like we got playing here.
It definitely fits in with this track that's coming on.
This one, yeah.
The De La and Teenage.
Yeah.
It's got that same kind of laid back approach as opposed to Slayer or the Onyx stuff,
Yes.
whatnot. But,
and I think it showcases the MC better because they're not like screaming over fucking
yeah, absolutely.
things. But okay, so we're at the red light. What do we do with this song?
I'm gonna turn it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
or leave it the same.
I'm gonna keep it the same.
I'm not turning it up.
Just on the strength of their catalog, which back then. So Where You Been just came out. I don't know where Del was because I feel like Mr. Dabalina must have already come out.
It definitely came out before this. Let me check that, but I'm pretty sure well before this.
'Cause Del never really had a breakout except
That
for
was
like
it.
Deltron. He had Deltron, and wasn't he was a rapper on Clint Eastwood, right, with the Gorillaz?
Yes. Well, that was you didn't hear much from him for a while, but when the Gorillaz came out, that put him back on the map.
But Deltron too, like Deltron 3030 was huge.
Let's see.
For geeks like us.
91 was his first
Mr.
record.
Dabalina?
Yeah, so it'd been a minute. He put out an album, No Need for Alarm, in 93.
Okay.
But he was not, he never really
went
to the next
popped.
level.
Yeah,
No.
for sure. And his association with Hyro definitely helped get him to certain audiences. I will say the record Parallel Universe that he made, in the 2000s, it was him and Tame One. That fucking record is awesome. Really good. Tame One, so slept on from the Artifacts, and him made a whole
Love the
album.
Artifacts.
Yeah.
Wrong Side of the Tracks, one of my favorite hip hop records ever.
Hey, yo.
Yep.
So what do we got? Two left?
Yes. Therapy with a question mark.
From Belfast.
I hate that band. And Fatal.
Okay.
Which Sam said instructed because I was looking up who where are they now, and I kept getting this guy Fatal Hussein, who used to hang with roll with Tupac, had a couple of tracks, but Sam corrected me. It was, what was his name?
Joe Fatal, who was in the Main Source classic track
Live at the Barbecue.
Live at the Barbecue with Nas. When Nas, I believe that was the first song he was ever on.
It was.
So Fatal's verse was the second, if I remember correctly. I was listening to the Danny Diablo podcast. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Fatal was talking about his track on the Judgment Night soundtrack, and from there, like, my head exploded when I realized he was the same guy, and he was with the band fucking that put out the record Trouble Gum. So Therapy still makes records. Somebody that we had on the show, Tom Bennett, twice actually. I guess we had Tom on. He's a big Therapy fan.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they put out a record around this time, and it had like a hit or two on it, like modest.
I never could get into these guys.
Yeah,
they were one of those bands that like.
Is it because you hate Irish people?
Yeah. They were one of those bands that kind of played heavy, but they had like that look. So they got play on like Headbangers Ball and Alternative Nation.
They did get play on Headbangers Ball, which was weird.
But their hair was short, so they could Soundgarden somehow was an alternative band and not just a metal band.
Yeah,
because there's a couple. I blame it on the hair of a couple of guys. There's two short hair guys in the band. But
yeah, because anyway. Soundgarden's pretty fucking metal.
But yeah, and you know what? The question mark at the end of Therapy bothers me. Yeah. It's like Mark with a Q.
Mark with a Q. Boys. Yo, shout out to Mark Turrain.
It's like, I don't know. They just never did it for me, and this track does absolutely nothing for me.
You.
This is the biggest throwaway thing on.
Okay.
It's a complete like.
Come and die with me. Come and die with me.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Man, I'm really grading this record nicely because this is one of those records that I really didn't pay attention to. Yeah. I owned the Trouble Gum record by Therapy. I bought the cassette.
Okay.
Back when people did that, and I would always skip this. But listening back to it, it's a little too long. But like for the first 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is fun. It's like it's got a fun chorus. Come and die with me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not one of my favorite songs. If we were at a red light, I might turn this one down a little bit.
I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna shut the radio off.
Yeah. That brings us to the last song with are these the two biggest groups
at that time on here?
Even today, probably, right?
I mean, shit. You could definitely make the argument. Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill, real thing.
Yep.
Minus Eddie Vedder. I guess he didn't come in that day or something like that.
He was too busy writing pro
He was
choice on his
surfing,
arm.
I think they said,
Yeah.
or they asked him. He said, "Cool," you know.
Yeah.
But I guess this track went together pretty well, and Muggs was saying, you know, they, I guess, recorded it up in Seattle and mailed them the tracks down there, and they did the chorus, you know,
Okay.
and they had everything, and I like this track a lot, actually. I didn't play it as much as I Love You, Mary Jane collaboration, but I do like this. When I was re-listening to it this morning, I liked it a lot more than I used to.
I hate it.
Do you?
I think it's the worst song on the record.
Worse than the Therapy song?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's the worst song on the record because I wanted it to be great. Like whatever the dudes that like Pearl Jam's doing in the back. Like,
okay.
It just seemed like Cypress Hill was like, oh yeah, we just knocked it out of the park with Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now we got to work with these guys. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know, man. Maybe I listened to it more back then, but like when I came back to it for the review for this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, man, this song kind of sucks, and I'm glad it's the last because it really didn't do anything for me at all. And I love Pearl Jam and I love Cypress Hill, and you know this was Pearl Jam. Wow, probably by the second record where they were like just humongous
On fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, listen, you know, if we're at a red light specifically for this song, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna turn it off. I'll be like, yo, last song already played, come and die.
Done. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it the same. I'm not turning it up, but I'm gonna leave it the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
So listening back to this record, I thought it was going to be kind of like a novelty joke thing.
Right.
That people remembered. Like, I really wanted to dive into the record to be like, do we just remember this being awesome back then and just terrible now? I was surprised. I'm like, this record is still fun. Like, you could still put this on, and it's still like a cool experiment that happened.
Sure.
And to me, it definitely still holds up. And, you know, I probably would listen to it way less today.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to some of these tracks today as an old. It just, you know what, it was right in my wheelhouse when it came out, and it's not so much the kind of music that I find myself listening to at this point in my life.
Okay, so there's 11 songs. Let's pick 4 apiece that we would still play today.
Okay, I'm looking over my list here.
Just give me one. I'll give you one.
I would play the Slayer and Ice-T track.
Okay. For me, my favorite track on this by far is Teenage Fan Club and De La Soul.
Okay.
Like I still like when that shit pops on, I almost cried. You know?
It's been a while since
Pause.
I heard it. I would play this Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill.
Okay.
I would play that again.
I would do I'm going down in order, so I would do this song, Judgment Night soundtrack, Judgment Night song. It just I don't know, it's fun, and the MCs, like all 3 of the dudes from Onyx, really delivered on it.
Yeah, it works. It's perfect. I'm gonna agree with you. Actually, that's gonna be another selection for me.
Okay,
Judgment Night.
Let me look at that list.
You can read my writing. I got a lot of scribble.
Yeah, so I would do the same thing. I Love You, Mary Jane. That collaboration worked. I would play the shit out of that. So that would be my 3rd song.
Yeah, and my last one will be Faith No More and Booyah Tribe, actually.
Okay.
Which never would have been my choice back in the day.
Huh.
But now it would be.
Let me see. Let me look at this list real quick. I would do Helmet, House of Pain.
All right. Respect.
Yeah, those 4 I would still play today. And as you could see, you know, we were grasping a little bit, so I feel strongly about the first 3. You know, the rest I'm just you know, I had to throw one in there. Yeah. But so what won the soundtrack brackets?
Singles. Judgment Night was in the final 4, along with Purple Rain and The Crow. Okay. And really, those are pretty 4 solid.
I was hanging out
choices.
with Mike Stack last night, and he was asking me, and I was like, I told him I got kicked off Facebook for a month.
Hate crime.
For a hate crime. And I called my best friend white trash, and I'm still not sorry because Keith Moore is fucking white trash. Sorry. But I guess Facebook flagged me.
Mark Zuckerberg does not agree with me.
He does not agree with me. But anyway, yeah. So he was asking me, and I was like, man, I wasn't really paying attention because I can't vote, I can't do anything. Right. And then we were talking about those soundtracks, and yeah, man, singles. I talked to Joe, who we had on from Outburst, and he's like, man, if you ever do the singles fucking episode, I'm there. He sent me a picture of. He loves that singles movie and soundtrack. So.
I agree. I'm way into that. That tourney ended where I figured it would.
Okay.
When we put these things together, I always pick 4 that I figure are going to be there and put them in opposite corners, of the bracket.
You got to seed them nicely.
And it kind of arrived where I thought it would, you know. And I think singles actually edged out Judgment Night to go against The Crow.
Okay.
And won.
In closing, I guess there was a bit of a rumor. What was the rumor song?
That Tool and Rage Against the Machine collabed on a song, Can't Kill the Revolution. But I read it in a couple of places. But this other article that me and Sam both checked, on pleasekillme.com, said it was just a rumor that track was never made.
They lied, bro.
Yeah. Fake news.
For sure. That was the OG fake news.
Yep.
I mean,
would have made sense.
I
totally believe that could be true.
Yeah. And then so I guess in closing, let's bring up Happy Walters again, because in 1997 they released the Spawn soundtrack, and I guess he had something to do with it. And this, I guess, electronic bands were kind of popping off at that point because
the quote unquote electronica in the post early rave scene. It started to get into the public consciousness, the Prodigy and all those bands.
It leaked into Lollapalooza. I think Orbital headlined
there was Orbital, Moby. A lot of acts that
I never got Moby.
Over.
Do you get Moby?
I as an early raver,
but what did he do?
I saw a lot of good DJ sets of his, and his first album, I think was self-titled, or he had a track Go where he sampled the Twin Peaks theme.
Okay.
And a lot of early work, techno and trance work that was good and stuff. As far as him becoming more than a DJ, I didn't get any of that shit. But I seen him play some wicked DJ sets back in the day.
Okay.
But as an artist and beyond that,
okay. Because so I just know him as an artist. I know that he was a hardcore kid, all that other shit. But then you see stuff the song Southside, I think it's called, with Gwen Stefani. And it's catchy, but I'm thinking what is this song?
Made of Stars. Well, he had a shitload. That one album, Play, yeah. Where he licensed every song to commercials or something, which was get that money, man.
Yeah.
But,
and back then that was a no-no. Today it's holy shit, get it.
They're pretty simplistic songs. I don't think he's that as talented as he thinks he is.
Yeah. Sorry. If you're listening, we apologize, but it's true.
Please do the show. I liked your DJ sets. I saw you at Masquerade.
You have a great cranium.
Yeah, I saw you with Aphex Twin. You crushed it. But that's where it stops. But I just pulled up the Spawn soundtrack. Yeah, Crystal Method, another big band that crossed over out of that. And then you had Korn was on there. The Dust Brothers.
Who did Korn do a song with?
The Dust Brothers.
Okay, but anyway, so the guy that produced Judgment Night soundtrack, I guess later on did this, and
Metallica, ironically, was on the Spawn soundtrack with DJ Spooky. I guess they came around the second time.
Boy, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all. And I had
a remix of Whom the Bell Tolls.
I do you remember when Metallica did that thing, or maybe it was just that guy Die Krups, where it was an electronic version of their songs.
Yes.
Or it might have been the Black Album in its entirety.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bought that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Back when you just it was a set and you just buy. You're oh, let me fucking get this.
I'm curious.
Before you could sample and be yep, not paying for this. But I guess they were trying to do the same thing, but they were okay, now we're gonna have alternative bands, and then we're gonna mix them up with these electronic centric bands, and there was some cool stuff on there. I really liked the Sneaker Pimps with Marilyn Manson song, Long Way Back from Hell.
Definitely.
That was a banger.
That was a good one. Yep.
Um,
I was a big Rollins fan and a Goldie fan.
okay.
Drum and bass
that's
artist.
right. Yeah.
Even though it's pretty much just a Goldie throwaway track with Rollins talking his, in his serious voice over it. Not really.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
It clearly I don't know if they ever spoke to each other. I think somebody just put that together and stuff. But it got.
He does love a paycheck.
It
though.
had my. Oh yeah, he won't say no. Slayer and Atari Teenage Riot.
Yes.
There was another one on there.
Yeah.
Some frantic shit on there, but yeah, that was a moment.
It was a moment. Too. Yeah. Well, we're not doing that episode, by the way.
No, I don't think we're breaking that down.
Yeah, but the other day I was eating at a restaurant and this guy was doing like, we were outside, so he was like playing music, and he was playing to like a backing track, but he was taking requests, which I didn't even understand. I'm thinking like, how are you taking requests with it? Like if I give you a song, how are you going to know this song? But I guess, he said yes to the stuff that he had in his computer.
And Sour Shoes?
And it might as well have been, to be honest with you. And so this girl, like I'm sitting there eating and we're the closest to him with our table. And this girl walks up and it made me remember what it's like to deal with the public. Because she was just like, my friend wants to hear Henry Rollins' Liar.
Oh my God.
And we're just sitting here at a restaurant outside, and this dude's playing like the Beatles, like Led Zeppelin, and then like this like lady walks up, and he was just like, at a restaurant? I'm like, nah. How about I just play like, I don't know, Thank You by Led Zeppelin? She was like, okay. Yo, it was so fucking stupid, and I'm like, the whole time I just wanted like to turn to this lady and be like, are you fucking stupid?
Are you out of your mind?
Are you stupid?
They're out there, man.
Like Henry Rollins' Liar? Are you a fucking moron?
They're out there, bro.
If you're listening, I'm sorry. But
I was a DJ in these places. You get asked for some dumb shit.
Yeah. Like just remember that song.
Like, where are you right now?
Where
do you think that? You really think that could happen?
Hey, and what guitar?
That's like my least favorite Rollins song.
But he's like talking. It's like a monologue.
Yeah.
Like, on what planet did this lady think that like he was going to be like, let me just do this Henry Rollins monologue?
Great number.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Good one. I haven't played this one in a while. But anyway, to close it up, I thought it'd be fun to kind of like maybe match up some bands that we would have put together for a soundtrack like this. Obviously, we could use some of the bands that were already on the soundtrack. We could think of other ones, but I wanted to keep it in that like 93, 94, 95 era. So do you have anything?
I didn't exactly keep it in that era.
Oh, okay.
But and this was tough.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about our aversion to some of these kind of collaborations. So I was trying to think of
it's like somebody trying to get you to suck a dick when you don't. You're just like, you're like, I want to be a team player, but I just. But
there are some acts, and I'll just fire them. No, I'll give you a couple of them, and then you give me a couple of yours instead of going back and forth. But I thought a band like White Zombie with maybe like a horrorcore kind of rapper,
sure,
necro, Ill Bill, because White Zombie had a pretty tight groove. I think you could work with.
Yeah.
I thought that would be good. I thought a band like the Stone Roses with a voice like Q-Tip or something like that, because they had some funky shit like that. Or there's a jazz combo, not combo, but MMW, Medeski, Martin, and Wood. Another band I would like to hear with Q-Tip or Guru, something of that. Happy Mondays, I think, could work with those guys. Mm-hmm. And then my off-the-wall choice would be someone like MC Doom or Aesop Rock or Dalek, like a real outsider kind of artist, with like a Voivod or Meshuggah.
Wow.
And chop up those beats with the way those guys have odd flows, and just see what the fuck happens. It might be completely horrible, probably would be, but I want to see.
Yeah, why not?
Or hear, rather.
I couldn't really think of any.
You gave me this one.
Well, I was driving over here. I was a little busy. But the only thing that I thought would be kind of cool, like if it was like an idea for Judgment Night, it would have been cool to see 93 Flaming Lips work with like 93 Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, that's
I feel like those two, styles would have been great.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that would have worked.
That would have worked out cool. And then maybe like
I think Tip in general you could see him with a lot of different, that voice. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they have like, very unique like production styles. And then I would just do our buddy Gore, Lord Goat.
Yeah.
If we can get him to rap over some Robin Crosby guitars from Rat,
Nice.
like mix it up and shit. So he's got a new record coming out. Can't wait to listen to it. The track listing looks ridiculous. And that's it, man. So it was fun to go down memory lane.
It's been a while.
It's what it is too. Yeah, it's been a while. Sometimes it's just easier not to do an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
life gets in the way sometimes. But then we'll be revving back up, and we got our holy month of October coming up. I'm sure that's going to light our horror.
I just don't want to feel like we
views.
have to do something.
No, we don't.
We don't.
We're not sponsored. We don't have commercials.
Yeah.
We don't have some Joe Rogan deal.
Yeah.
The only deal I have with Spotify is I pay them $10 a month.
That's it.
There's no money coming my way.
Exactly. So they could wait.
Exactly.
Did you hear the issue that he's having over there?
Oh, the censorship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's douche chills.
I can't even. I can't
Everybody
even.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up.
Everybody. Seriously, everybody.
Yeah, just don't listen to it.
I at this point right now, I just can't listen to anybody's shit complaining anymore.
That's it.
And there's too many people complaining.
That's it.
Or too many people with nothing to do.
Too many people. Like if COVID wasn't around, I would imagine everyone would just be going along their business, their selfish business, and being like, "Yo, man, good luck with that."
I thought COVID would put things in perspective, but people seem to have more time to complain about dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
Yeah.
There's some very valid complaints and very valid things that people are upset about. But then there are people who are just like latching on to these things, and it's just like,
they've made that their identity.
Yeah.
Is to be the guy that.
Yeah.
And that identity sucks.
It sucks.
It's fucking lame.
Yeah, man.
Please stay away from me.
Yeah, I thought like you said, COVID was just gonna be like, okay, you know what, we're all gonna die. It's cool. Like everyone just, it's like,
live and let live a little
live and
bit.
let live a little bit. Yeah, just do your thing. But I think it was that way for a minute. Everyone was kind of cool, and like people were
it
like,
was a quick minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might have been 50 seconds. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but like people were like clapping the pots out and like in the city and shit.
Doctors. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like,
It's over.
yeah, it's over.
It's here we are.
Yeah.
Oh,
you said it all. All right, cool.
All right.
Later.
Peace.